This one on Lorca is good too. I'll read the one on Lorca. We bumped off your friend the poet. We bumped off your friend the poet with a big fat head this morning. We left him in a ditch. I fired 2 bullets into his ass for being queer. I was one of the people who went to get Lorca, and that's what I said to Rosales. My name is Luis Alonso, ex-topographer, right-wing deputy, alive and kicking, phalanges to the end. Nobody bothers me. I got protection. The Guardia Civil are my friends. Because he was a poet, was he better than anyone else? He was a goddamn fag. And we were sick and tired of fags in Granada. The black assassination squads kept busy liquidating professors, doctors, lawyers, students, like the good old days of the Inquisition. General Cuellar de Llana had a favorite phrase: give him coffee, plenty of coffee. Lorca was arrested. We asked the general what to do. Give him coffee, plenty of coffee. So we took him out in the hills and shot him. I'd like to know what's wrong with that. He was a queer with leftist leanings. Didn't he say, I don't believe in political frontiers? Didn't he say the capture of Granada in 1492 by Ferdinand and Isabella was a disastrous event? Didn't he call Granada a wasteland peopled by the worst bourgeoisie in Spain? A queer communist poet. General Franco owes me a medal for putting 2 bullets up his ass. Oh, here's one I was looking for. I'm not a man. I'm not a man. I can't earn a living. Buy new things for my family. I have acne and a small Peter. I'm not a fan. I don't like football, boxing, and cars. I like to express my feelings. I even like to put an arm around my friend's shoulders. I'm not a man. I won't play the role assigned to me. The role created by Madison Avenue, Playboy, Hollywood, and Oliver Cromwell. Television does not dictate my behavior. I'm not a man. Once, when I shot a squirrel, I swore I would never kill again. I gave up meat. The sight of blood makes me sick. I like flowers. I'm not a man. I went to prison resisting the draft. I do not fight when real men beat me up and call me queer. I dislike violence. I am not a man. I have never raped a woman. I don't hate blacks. I do not get emotional when the flag is waved. I do not think I should love America or leave it. I think I should laugh at it. I'm not a man. I've never had the clap. I'm not a man. Playboy is not my favorite magazine. I'm not a man. I cry when I'm unhappy. I'm not a man. I do not feel superior to women. I'm not a man. I don't wear a jockstrap. I'm not a man. I write poetry. I'm not a man. I meditate on peace and love. I'm not a man. I don't want to destroy you.
Did you have a similar experience? You said that once you shot like a squirrel or something.
I'm sorry?
You shot a squirrel back when you were a kid?
Yeah.
And you decided not to shoot again?
It was a deer.
It was a deer.
I shot squirrels with impunity when I was 13, 14.
Okay.
Loved it. Ate them. But that deer, the trouble is, it didn't die right away. It was only wounded and it crawled off and found it in the bush and had to finish it off. Last time I ever went hunting. So I guess I'm not a man either.
Hmm.
Matthew, dear brother, sweet kid, a slip of a lad, 5'2", effeminate youth. Your parents loved you and knew you were gay. And we're born that way, like children all over the world, in all countries, all times. Barely visible in a child, though predestined puberty. Jesus never condemned you. But the church hasn't heard the good news. Love is no crime. It's a force of attraction beyond choice or will. For this, you were killed, lashed to a fence like a scarecrow, stripped, savagely beaten, and left to die. Crucified like Jesus, who also looked like a scarecrow nailed to a cross, who most likely was not blue-eyed and pink-skinned, with Breck-shampooed hair, who was perhaps 5'2", but awesome, and wondrously gentle and holy. Jesus didn't wear a white collar, preach sermons for hate crimes of violence against the innocent. Perhaps he was always high on the mind-blowing sacred mushrooms in his saintly Essene youth. He did not get uptight about sex. He preached charity, decency, love. A poor Jew born in a manger, a stable on the outskirts of Bethlehem, he taught that each life was sacred, more precious than gold. And although he may have had dirty feet, long hair, hippie sandals, he made the ultimate sacrifice for his merciful teachings that conquered the pagan religion of Rome. Oh, false Christians, you do not love Jesus. You love to exploit him, to sell him for profit, to get rich in his name. No queers or dykes welcome in church. You laugh and you mock as you murder Jesus, Matthew, and Dr. King. Boy, that's good.
Yeah.
You know, these three poems have a power and a directness on the issue of gay identity and gay rights that Ginsberg doesn't even approximate. There is an earnest quality and a depth in this guy that I find very attractive. I don't know how good a poet he is from a technical point of view. His language is often plain. Sometimes seems to write in prose. But there's a power and an integrity there. I think he deserves to be better known.
Harold Norse. Why do you think Harold Norse has this kind of language, while Ginsberg doesn't? I mean, does it go back to the question of Ginsberg's showmanship? He was too much of a busybody, befriending...
Well, that's a curious question, because both of them were influenced by William Carlos Williams.
Walt Whitman?
Who, Norse in his autobiography talks about the way in which Williams pushed him in the direction of using plain vernacular language and images derived from the life of the ordinary people he knew. Ginsberg was also influenced by Williams. I guess maybe the difference I see is that Ginsberg's poems are written to be declaimed. They're very, how shall I put it, very much performance pieces. They have a certain resonant quality about them. I don't see that so much in Norse. His language is simpler, it's more direct. I think his images are better.
More introspective quality, too.
He's more thoughtful. He's more thoughtful. I guess my feeling about Ginsberg, although I love his poetry, it's been with me all my life, but my feeling about Ginsberg is that he's kind of always on,